Okay, so once again, okay, huh?
Yeah.
So nice to see you back again after, I don't know, 3 months.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay, I'm very much used to with the translator, so I was just waiting.
We understand you perfectly, Khenpo.
Okay, so uh, when we mm, follow the path of Buddhism, there are many kind of people who follow the path of Buddhism. As a philosopher, you can follow the Buddhism as a philosopher, or with a curiosity, or just as a thinker. There are many ways you can approach to the Buddhism. But I think today I will try to put more in a practical as much as possible based on my own personal experiences. And then, because it's very important when you follow the Buddhism, you know, you have to ask question to yourself, why I follow Buddhism? What is my purpose? What is my goal? And what am I going to do with this Buddhism? This is a very important question to everybody's life, because you are following something spiritual, and one need to ask this question again and again. I co- I was lucky to born in a Buddhist family, but still I ask question to myself about what is my purpose of why I am following this one. And then there are many kind of Buddhism, the Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, Vajrayana. Within the Vajrayana, there are many Buddhism. And then one need to ask really a question. So, uh, when one follow the path of Buddhism, usually in the Tibetan tradition, then as a beginner practitioner, usually the teacher used to give the Ngondro practice, Ngondro. Okay, I think you have done already. You have done practice little bit.
Little bit.
Not a bit,
Not
not much.
everything.
Okay, you have done, huh?
Yes,
Little
yes.
bit. So, in the Ngondro, according to the Nyingma tradition, we have a three kind of Ngondro, the preliminaries. Tingin Ngondro, Chi Ngondro, and Nangi Ngondro. Okay. I don't know how to translate the first one. The Ngondro of the session, we say. The session Ngondro, or day-to-day life practice. Because first practice is just about you and the life of the master, that connected, that should be 24 into 7 in your life. So therefore it is a Tingin Ngondro. So tin means you have a 7 session, 6 session a day. One a practitioner used to practice. That is, we call it Tingin Ngondro. So in this practice, usually one practice oneself and the reality of the teacher as a inseparable. This kind of practice is there. But after that one is done, then there is another practice called the outer Ngondro preliminaries. During that time, what happened is that one practice this four changing mind, which we talked last time. And then this is very important. It's very much fundamental, needed. Whether you are, no matter who you are, Guru Rinpoche himself said, "Tawa namkale thojang leju de bakshalaship." That means your view might be as high as a space, but you need to respect the law of the nature. This is what Guru Rinpoche said. So therefore, this four changing mind is very, very, very important in the day-to-day life, in the life of practitioners, but in everybody's life. Because this four changing mind really tells us the purpose of the practice, and it's very important. So that therefore, before one practice, sit down, calm, and then try to figure out the goal. The first question always asks about my existence, my the purpose. So in the first changing mind, it always says you are the most important person in the world. Therefore, you have to utilize that one as much as possible for the benefit of yourself and for other. This life is very precious, it says. You exist, all the practice exists. You don't exist, practice can exist, but you don't exist, it's not for you. So therefore, thinking to oneself, oh, my life is so important, it's precious. It is like a diamond that if you don't know how to utilize it, you will waste it. If you don't understand what is diamond, then you waste it. And then ask question to oneself, how important I am to myself. Like Khenpo Tseten said, if you want to go to Nirvana, or if you want to, Khenpo said, if you want to go across the river on the boat, or if you want to be a rock underneath the river, it's up to you. So therefore, one need to ask a question about my importance. Then you see your life is so precious that you can do many things if you want. So when you see this one, then second purpose comes. The second purpose is that, what to say, understanding the impermanent. So in the impermanent, in the impermanent, usually it says that whatever it does not last long. So therefore, in everything, material things, everything, the material things, your physical body, everything, at the end, it does not last. This is what the impermanent tells in general. Whatever start, it has an end. So realizing that one, what to say? Maybe I understand my life is so precious, but because I did not understand the impermanent, I can waste my life because I believe tomorrow I have a time. So therefore, I know my life is precious today, but I have tomorrow. So therefore, I give up. I don't do anything. So not understanding the impermanent. Then therefore, we attach to the to have them so much in the worldly concern so much because we believe that having worldly concern can give me a security. Then we work so much, and then we forget about utilizing the precious human life. So sometimes it is called also laziness. If you don't understand the precious, the importance of the impermanent, then laziness comes. In the Bodhicitta Avatar, it says 3 different kind of laziness. First everybody knows it's a lazy. The first one is really the lazy one, who does not want to do anything, who just want a wife to do all the things, like that. This is a real lazy one. Now, second laziness is somebody who is so much interested in the video game, in the computer, in the job, in the things. You seem like you are very much interested, but you forget the purpose, because all these things are not a purpose of your existence at the end. Like last time I said, we will never say that I want to waste my time. But we give an excuse. What I said? Oh, I'm not going to waste my time, but I'm going to get married. Marrying is wasting a time. You know? These are all, we have millions of excuses to say why I am busy. But all these excuses waste our time because uh, whatever it is there, we are not utilizing the precious human life that has a capacity to do many things, you know, not understanding the empowerment. And then this is second kind of laziness. And then third kind of laziness, we also feel like, I cannot do it, this is too much. This is my master's job, this is not my job. You know, this is Namkar Rinpoche's job. His job is to help all the beings like that. This is not my job. I'm just a small person. I cannot do it. You know. Then you devalue yourself. You don't give you important. You don't give you an opportunity to expose your capacity. So this is that kind of laziness. So the more you understand impermanent, the more you should be diligent. Less laziness should be there. But you just sit like that and then try to know, wow, my existence is very important. But at the same time, what can I do? For whom? This question comes. When you look, you know, just go in the nature and just imagine that way. And then how should I use it? So therefore the impermanent will help. This one. So after the impermanent, then one need to think. Yes, everything is impermanent, therefore is subject to change. It will be no longer there when I die. My physical body won't be there. But what will go with me together if I die? The only thing go with me is the experience. So therefore, engaging in a positive or engaging in a negative will give you an experience of the positiveness and the negativeness. This experience will go with you and it imprint in your mind. Sometimes we call it karma. So knowing that if I die, I don't want to go with a lot of guilt in my mind. I don't want to go with a lot of regret in my mind. A lot of like a negative tendencies in my mind. You know? So this kind of imprint when we have, then before we die, we feel so guilty. After we die, there is a sorrow. And then even next life is difficulties. This comes. This one need to ask question. I'm putting in the practical level, okay? I'm just trying to come down and then asking you to think as an analytic meditation to yourself. If I die, what will go with me? Give the sincere answer to yourself. I would like to die. You know, when a person die, where does it go? Do you know? Where does person go? When people die, where do they go? The first place. Bardo. Where do they go? When a person die, they go in the memory of other. So memory is like a good memory or bad memory. There's no neutral. Okay? Maybe there's not some neutral, but neutral good or neutral bad. So therefore one need to create this kind of things that you have done something that you are proud of. This imprint stay here in the mind and one can go together. So therefore, yes, if I die with a spiritual understanding. That experience I need to have. So what kind of spiritual experience you need? Then all the entire practice, beginning from the Theravada practice to the Dzogchen practice, these are all one need to do it. So therefore, encourage oneself. Oh, therefore, I need to practice. I need to do this meditation. I need to do that one. Oh, teacher said this one, so I need to do that one. Oh, that one is very good. Take how much you can. You know, it is free. And it's really important. So like that, ask question to oneself. I always do this. That's why I said based on my own experience. This is how I do. I always practice like a 15 minutes in the morning, thinking just this for changing mind in a different way, but more similar like that. And then one always, every day, this encourage oneself to do more and more better person. So this is the third. So now, within this experience, the spiritual experience, this experience is usually imprinted on the mind, but mind is a very much diluted. Mind is full of emotions. So therefore, whatever you imprint, you have imprint on the mind, on the surface of the mind. So therefore, therefore, this imprint will be easily influenced by what? Emotions. It's very normal. So then try to understand oneself. Okay, whatever is spiritual practice I do, what I need to do is I need to detach those emotion, those emotions, because this emotion can be associated with a jealousy, hatred, anger, attachment, and then I don't know, ignorance, doubt. So many emotions are there. This one, yeah. But whenever you have this kind of emotions, your mental level and physical level is not stable. Therefore, there's a suffering. Therefore, there's pain. And realizing that one, if I want to avoid the suffering of the samsara, I need to get rid of these emotions. These emotions are the really reason why I am in the samsara. You know, then ask you the question, this one again and again, contemplate on it, think on it. Then suddenly you get the purpose of why you need to practice. Suddenly you get the understanding. Okay, practical level. I'm saying how to encourage yourself. Okay. So after this practice, these four we call it the outer preliminaries, Ngondro. And then after these preliminaries, then we practice the inner Ngondro. Usually, according to the Nyingma tradition, there are another one which we call it following, how to follow the spiritual master, or how to search the spiritual master. You heard this one. This Nyingma, in the Kaiju tradition, there's only four outer Ngondros, but in the Nyingma there's fifth. Fifth is finding the teacher, usually. But mostly in the Jigme-Lingpa, the Longchen Nyingdi tradition, there's fifth one. In like the Nyorambache, I think there's only four.
Also 4, 5.
Yes, and then some other like the Khenpo Tseten also is only four. But usually, in general, in Nyingma tradition, you have to have this the fifth one also, how to analyze the teacher, and then how to follow the teacher, and how to utilize the advice of the teacher. This also one need to do. So therefore, these are all outer Ngondro. And then after that, in the inner Ngondro, it says like a refuge first, as a very much foundation of the Buddhism, and then Boddhicitta as a heart of the Mahayana practice, and then of course we are talking about Bodhisattva when they have to work to help the beings. Beings are very much complicated. You know, if I go to the city here, I say I want to help people, I think people will give me a slap. They will say, we don't need your help. You know, so Bodhisattva need a lot of encouragement, And then when this kind of things happen, there's a lot of obstacles comes. You know? So obstacle comes because of our karmic debt and all like that. It manifests, you know. So to not to manifest those things, then we have a practice called Dorsun Gomde, practicing on Vajrasattva, which is also a confession practice, purification practice, you know. And then after that one, the accumulation. There's always two things: purification and accumulation, or accumulation and purification. Buddha said there are two persons that can enlighten. Two persons. One person is who do not do any negative, and there's another person who does always negative, who fail, and then become Buddha. You know, there Buddha said two persons. So therefore, to enlighten, we have a accumulation and we have a purification. These two has to go together. You cannot go soksak tipjam. You cannot become enlightened just using one. You cannot become enlightened just using one. You need both one. This is accumulation and this is purification. These two need to go together. If you don't go to these two together, then there's a big obstacle. Okay? So like that, in the third, it is a purification. In the fourth, it is a accumulations. And then in the fifth, it is like a kusulu. It is also like a accumulation, but mostly the physically offering, like a chair or something like that, for example. You know, this kind of practicing is there. And then this five, you know, the refuge, bodhicitta, purification, accumulation through mandala, and accumulation through kusulu practice. This five, we call it the inner mundu. And then after that one, we have a Guru Yoga to gain all the realization of the master. Okay, so we are finished. Okay, so this is in short. And then now we go through the text. So refuge. First, I will just read the Tibetan one. Okay, Chi chapter choksum Tejinkur Nangi chapter Sasungneruto Dengi chapter Kusumnduche Sume Lame Shala Chasalo. This is the words from Jingmilimba. So today, all the teaching, whatever I am going to say, I will try to base on the Jingmilimba's point of view. So from Jingmilimba point of view, when we take the refuge, there are three kinds of refuge: external refuge, inner refuge, and then secret or meaning refuge. Okay. So external refuge, this we are going to talk tomorrow, but I'm just going to shortly present you. So the external refuge is called the triple gem, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. This is the external refuge. And then inner refuge is the root of all the blessing. We call it Lama. And then the root of all the benediction, we call it deities, Deva. And then the root of all the siddhis, all the gaining all the activities, spiritual, the Vajrayana activities, it depends on the Dakini. So these three, we call it the inner refuge. Okay, and then the meaning refuge or the secret refuge is that one take refuge to when the nadis is purified. We call it Nirmanakaya form. We take to the Nirmanakaya refuge, and when the wind is purified, then we call it Sambhogakaya refuge. And then when the essence is purified, then we call it Dharmakaya refuge. So this is just brief to know. And and tomorrow we will talk detail about this one. So in the Tibetan Buddhism or Vajrayana tradition, we have a 9 refuge. Okay, always. One. So now, let's talk about our refuge first. So in the Sanskrit, refuge is known as saranam. Okay, saranam in Sanskrit. So usually when you chant, Buddham saranam gacchami, Sangam saranam gacchami, no, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangam saranam gacchami. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. This is what usually in Sanskrit or in Pali it is recited way. If you have difficulties with the Tibetan, you can recite in the Sanskrit. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangam saranam gacchami. It's very simple. In Tibetan, if you want, then Lama, in just Tibetan normal, it's like a Sangela Chapsuchu, Chola Chapsuchu, and Gendela Chapsuchu. But if you put it like little bit typical Tibetan Vajrayana thing, then you have to put 5 lines. At the beginning is Lamala Chapsuchu, Sangela Chapsuchu, Chola Chapsuchu, Gendela Chapsuchu, and then you need to put some addition is Chabne Kuncho Sumla Chapsuchu. 5 lines. So this is called anyway Saranam. But this Saranam, when we translate into Tibetan, it's called usually we call it Chamdo. Chamdo means refuge. But when we make the phrase a little bit long, we call it Konchola Chapsudo. So therefore, there's 2 things: Konchok and Chamdo. Konchokla Chapsudo. Then Konchok is the object to whom you take refuge, and then Chapsudo is the one who go towards the refuge. So literally it's like that. So therefore, why I am talking these 2 is that these 2 refers to 2 things. Konchok, when we talk about Konchok, then we will talk most about the devotions. When we talk about the refuge, we are talking more about the reason, the fear. Okay. So, when we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the question always comes: why we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, or why we take refuge. Okay. So now it is again, until now we are talking about philosophical understanding. Now we go back to the again practical level. So when you go back to the practical level, you just ask to the question: why should I take refuge? Why? There's no reason to take a refuge. Why should I take refuge? This question always comes. Or at least if you are stupid, then you can just take refuge to this and that like that, And refuge is also a very tricky thing, very, very tricky. Because if you don't understand the refuge, then it becomes very, very tricky. So that's why also in the text it says, if you when you understand the refuge, you understand Buddhism. If you don't understand refuge, you don't understand Buddhism. Because every religion is based on refuge. So when we talk about refuge, then we suddenly separate. We suddenly make the categorize. This immediately when you put this refuge, then we know, oh, this is Hindu, this is Buddhist. In the time it was just like that. When Atisha came to Tibet and he heard his master die in India, Dharma Rakshita, he died in India, and then was crying in Tibet, and his student asked, "Why are you crying?" "Oh, my teacher died in India." All the students said it was very sad. But he said, "It's not because he died." He said, "Because he is the only one who can distinguish between Hinduism and Buddhism based on the refuge." That's why he cried, because now it will be very difficult to say this is Buddhism or this is Hinduism, because in the Buddhism we have a Tripitaka. In Hinduism they have. In the Buddhism we have a four Tantra. In Hinduism they have a four Veda. And in the Buddhism we have a 9 yana. They do have a 9 yana. Very, very same. And then sometimes when we bring these two books together, we don't know if the title is taken away. We don't know if it is Buddhism or Hinduism. Very like that. So it is always said, whether it's Buddhism or not, it always depends on the person's motivations from the beginning, where he makes to whom he makes the prostration. If it is dedicated to Shiva, then it is not a Buddhism. It's dedicated to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, it's a Buddhism. So like that, it is always said, just refuge is very, very important, just to distinguish this. And then also in the many texts it says, if you want to have a realizations, you need a samadhi. Samadhi is a concentration, 100% concentration meditation. But if you want to have a very good samadhi meditation, you need to have a very good discipline. If you have no good discipline, then you are like a prostitute. I don't know, I shouldn't say that one. Prostitute in Asian prostitute, okay? Because Asian prostitute has no discipline. So therefore, we said no value. But in Europe, we cannot say this one. And there we say. So when you have no discipline, then you cannot gain the samadhi practice, because you lack of discipline. You don't respect the time. So therefore, refuge is also considered as a discipline. Okay, so that is why it is also said the refuge is very, very important in the Buddhism, that if you want to gain the realizations and all. So now let's talk about what is the cause of the refuge. Okay, that means, why am I taking a refuge? The answer is always, we are talking about the reason. Reason is my cause. So ask to yourself, why should I take refuge to Khenpo Tseten? Why should I take refuge to Namkar? Why should I take refuge to this Buddha? Why should I take refuge to Guru Rinpoche? Why am I doing with throwing my body on the ground again and again? Ask the question to yourself. Why? So therefore, answer is very simple. When you look to yourself, why you are taking refuge, then this four changing mind comes again, once again, come back. Because where do we stop? We stop in the fourth one, the fourth changing mind, which is suffering. Why do I take refuge? Because the third one is very strong. Third one is karma. Karma brings what? Karma is not a good news. Really not good news. Karma is not good news. In the Buddhism, if I say, "Oh, Rinpoche, you have a very good karma," it's an insult. Because Rinpoches are beyond karma. They control the karma. Karma don't control them. Okay? So karma is not a good news. When you say you have a good karma, it's not. So therefore, karma brings what? Karma brings the situation, the condition. Because you have a karma, you are born here. Because you have a karma, aging is there, you get old. Because you have a karma, you get sick. Because you have a karma, ultimately you die. This four is called situation. And this situation we need to go through. That's why we call it situation. We already went through birth. How many times we went through sickness? And then now we are getting old. These are situations. And then eventually one day we will die. This our situation is yet to come. When this situation comes, are you ready to accept this situation? Because this situation is created by what? Karma. Okay? So, situation comes, big situation. Like you have to choose the path. Which one? Yeah? This teacher, that teacher, this center, that center. Okay, in general you can choose it. But when you are forced to choose it, difficult. Choosing between right hand and left hand, death and life, choosing between this and that one, difficult. Then there's extra suffering. Nien jamba the joa, the jadang the teba, mideva toto baba, teba toto mil, for suffering. That means you want this one, it is not coming. You don't want this one, it is coming. And you want family to be with you, but it's not happening. And you don't want your enemy to be with you, it is happening. These four situations arise. Are you ready to accept those situations? When this situation comes, when your boss comes to you and then he is trying to throw you out of the job, are you ready to face this situation? Because this situation is very strong, can make any practitioners very, very emotional. You understand? Now I'm going by process in my thinking meditation. Okay, I said based on the practical level how I practice. I take time because you don't need to worry about I have to do 100,000 times. So therefore I have 1 month. This is it's okay, you are doing something, but this is not a very, very right way. Right way is you take time, you look the click when it's coming, take time, relax. So therefore you try to understand basic needs inside you. So first is all the situation comes. If I have to choose my right hand and left hand, can I let it go this one? If I have to choose my brother and sister, can I have a courage to let go my sister and choose my brother? Yeah, this situation. And then I know this situation is very difficult, that will make me so emotional. Because I will feel very sad. I will go to depression. I will feel guilty of my decision, and I know it. And many people has gone this through. You know, these are all mental suffering now we are talking. Before, all this is physical suffering created by karma. Now we are talking about the mental suffering. Because situation is there, this will produce mental suffering. Are you capable of letting go this mental suffering? Of course not. Because we have billions of emotions in the mind. It's there. And then where are those emotions coming from? Now this question you need to ask. You know? And then finally the question comes, why feel I so much emotional? Very strong is here, and then kind of like a between hatred and jealousy, between attachment and anger, why I am stuck between. When you look nicely deep down there, you have a fear in the mind. Fear of what? Losing. Fear of what? Not getting enough. Fear of what? What you have, you cannot maintain it. This is always here, constantly in our mind. Fear is there. So what is fear actually? question need to ask again, what is fear? So answer is very simple. Fear is a mental, mental emotion. Fear is a mental emotion. It is not real either. Fear is just a uh, uh, fear is just a gap between past and the future. When you look to the deep in the mind, fear, because because if you look to the future, when you fall down, you have no fear of falling down because you are falling down. But you have a fear of hitting your head. It's future. You fall down, you suddenly, if I hit my head on the ground, it could be danger. But once you hit the head on the ground, you have no fear of hitting your head on the ground. But you have a fear of what happened next. I already hit my head on the ground. Now, did some water or blood went in my brain or not? If it goes there, maybe I'll go to the coma. So we project like a guarantee. We give only the guarantee what's going to happen next, which we don't even know, which is not even reality. Right? This is how the fear creates the projection. Like that. And this projection all comes how? Why? Because of our past thought. Because somebody called Vic, for example. Somebody called Vic. I don't want to use Vic. Somebody called John. Is there some John? No John, huh?
No.
Okay. He fall down, hit his head, and he died. Because somebody called John, fall down, hit his head, he died. I could die because I fall down and hit my head. I bring his example and they put it in me. But there's no guarantee that I'm going to die. But I will project that one in me. This is fear. Understand? So therefore, fear is a mental projection. It's a projector of the mental projection of what is going to happen next, based on the past. But in reality, it's not even real because we don't know what's really going to happen. So therefore, the moment you have a fear in the mind, what happens next? Now consequences. Okay, how the fear comes from the past thought and future thought. And then what happens next if you have a fear? Then you get two consequences possible. One is that you will like to isolate yourself because you are too much afraid. The fear is there, so therefore you do not want to communicate to anybody else because you feel so much defensive. Right? This happens because you don't want somebody to touch your thing, because if somebody touch, you feel like they will take it away. So therefore you feel, no. This happened. This is just, I'm talking in the general level, but this you can bring into a practice level. The more practitioner you become, the more years practitioner you become, sometimes you become more arrogant. This exists in many Tibetan, not only Tibetan, many practitioners' life. Many people who says, I have done 9 years of retreat, but after 9 years of retreat, this person become more arrogant. Fear. Because 9 years of practice, now you demand, you give me some respect. If you don't give me respect, you feel like I'm losing something because you spent 9 years. This is fear is there in many levels, practitioner levels, non-practitioner levels. Yeah? Very important. This is how I practice. I take time. I go to the mountain, I go to the river, I just stay in my room just like that, and I do the thinking meditation, analytic meditation or contemplation on it. Very simple meditation, but it's very useful. It asks about your reality. So therefore you become more defensive because you are so afraid and you want to isolate. You close the door. You don't want to talk with the people. You just want to stay alone. You isolate yourself. This happens. Or there's another possibilities. You panic. What happened? Then stress is there. Then hand is shaking. These things happened. When somebody put the gun here, shakes. Then imagine what will happen during the birth of 49 days. Shaking. These things is panic. When we are in panic, we cannot make any decision. This happened. This is also happening out of fear. So therefore, you become either isolate yourself or panic. But whatever it is, it's not a good news. When you isolate yourself, you are alone. You live alone, you die alone, sad. When you are panic, you have so much in the mind going on, you are so much stressed, and then you cannot make any decision. You die alone, sad. Very same. Normal people talking. Same ideas go with the spiritual practitioners, retreater who stay in the forest for years and years and years. Suddenly get a fear. So that moment when this happened, then what comes is, please, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or Buddha, or my master, please guide me. It's happening. Sometimes people ask me to do like a special blessings when some people are very much sick. They ask me, Khenpo, do something. And then I feel it's a very big risk and big responsibilities. And then that time I get a fear in my mind. Oh, if I cannot heal that person, this person trusts me, and if I cannot heal, what I do is, you know all, please bless me, stay with me. I'm healing this person, but without your blessing, I cannot do it. Suddenly, this comes. This is what refuge is all about. So like that, you try to figure out, do you have a fear or not? If until you don't figure out you have no fear, then forget about the fear. It's just a joke. You will take the refuge out of curiosity, but you don't feel it. You don't feel the necessity. Okay. So therefore, every day, try to learn from this one. Very basic practice, but very useful. Okay, like that. So this is called what to say? The fear, the one reason of why one need to take refuge. So yeah, I got some definition of the fear. It says fear, F-E-A-R, false evident appearing real. You got it, huh? I got it from somewhere, but it is very, very nice. So now, this is just general understanding. Now we talk about the spiritual, practical practitioner's level, the fear, because now we are talking about the fear. Khenpo Tseten said, the reason why one take refuge is because of the fear. Yeah, this we know. And Khenpo Tseten gave 3 reasons. The first reason one need to look is, why I take refuge is that wherever I look, like this, the explanation I give about the conditions, which is we call it the samsara. The samsara itself is a condition that will give me a emotion, that will make me develop emotions. The more you are in the samsara, the more emotion you will get. The more you live with a fire and the spot and like that, the more your hand will get black. It's normal. It's logic, right? Or you have a modern firing thing. Okay, it's not like traditional. Traditional, he makes a very beautiful cups and all like that. Very, very beautiful. Really, I really like the cup. So like that, the more you stay in the samsara, you are subject to have to grow the emotions. Samsara will make you emotional, and we are in the samsara. Therefore, Khenpo said, just being yourself in the samsara is subject to have a fear. So therefore, you need to take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha because you are afraid of samsara. So this is the first reason it came. But refuge, Khenpo said, refuge need to be taken every single moment if you can. You need to update it every single day. Like in the computer, the files. Sometimes you need to update it. Like that, you need to update the refuge as much as possible, because the condition, the situation comes in many different kind and form. Okay. So now this is first level, first conservation, first reason. Now second reason is that the more you become a practitioner, okay, you do the meditation like a salung meditation or chö practice or tummo, salung tummo, or I don't know, this transferring practice, or what else you do, visualization practice, caring practice. The more you do, at the beginning it is a joy to do, and then you practice, you visualize. Mahakala. Finally, you start to see Mahakala. Now fear comes because now you are seeing it. That time, one mistake can lead you to another direction. You can make a mistake between the choosing the path, in the practice level, because you are in a very deep practice, spiritual practice. Spiritual is beyond a normal people's thought. So that time you are alone, you are meditating. You might make a big mistake. Instead of going to the Mahayana path, you are going to the Theravada path. That's possible, really possible. Instead of you practice Mahayana, you are becoming more and more egoist. You are thinking about yourself. That is Mahayana path and Theravada path. This mistake always happened. That is why all this Arahat, you have heard the name Arahat, Arahat? Arahat, Theravada practitioners. Theravada practitioners, when they become Arahat, after many years, it says they stay 500 aeons in the meditative state after they die as an Arahat. They stay there. But after 500 years, Buddha, it says in the sutra, Buddha come to them and said, "My son, you are not there again. You are still here. You need to get up and you need to start your practice." It is for them it's a very much depression, because they thought you have done all, and your teacher says not yet. You are not even half. This is what Theravada hears in the Arahat, and then they become like that, panic, like Cherezik becomes 1,000 arms and all. You know this story, like this. Cherezik make a vow to help all the beings. He enlightened many beings, and he said, like, I've done all. He went up, he looked back, he just saw a same quantity as before. And he said, oh, I cannot do it. Then suddenly he remembered his vow that he wanted to help all the beings. And then he was blasted into 1,000 pieces. And then Buddha Amida had to come to encourage him. Out of fear, he blasted. Same thing this happened to the practitioners in many levels. You are doing like a Tharun practice like that, and then suddenly you are sending all this energy up there, and then after sending like 1-2 weeks of practice, after that you get sick, and you are getting dizzy, and you get little panic. Am I going crazy? Or did I meditation went wrong? Happens, you know. So that time, who you will talk? To wife? I don't think so. To friend? I don't think so. Or maybe you will ask, because this is spiritual things, then you will start to talk to Rinpoches or teachers. Oh, I did a meditation like that, this happening, what's going on? And the teacher will say, okay, my son, you are doing a little wrong way. You have to meditate this one, and then stop somewhere here, and then send it up there, and then release it. When you release it, just release it. Don't attach it. Just let it go. You know, they will give their explanation. This is how one take the refuge. Finally, what is the refuge? It's a confidence you gain from the spiritual master. That's the refuge, the confidence. You know, slowly. You are getting it. I think I know you all know about these refuge things, but it's very good to remind like that. Okay. So this is the second level of practice. Fear again. Again, you need to update that one. Really. So now, third process is what happened. Is that you are practicing the entire life. You have been told attachment, anger, jealousy, hatred, they are emotion. You need to detach them. You have been told, and we have been doing this one for many years now. And suddenly it is said, you are not going to detach them. It is a very good thing to have them. You know, in a high level practice, emotion is no longer an emotion. Emotion is no longer to throw away. You have a more emotion, it's better it is. Compensate. Andi. That means that time is a big shock. You have worked for 50 years to 60 years of purifying your emotion, and when you are like 65 or 70 years old, and suddenly your teacher says, no, you are doing the wrong way. It's not like that actually. Actually, it is like you have to have all the emotion. Bring back all the emotion. They will tell you. Yeah. You get upset, no? When teacher says, all my students come at 3 o'clock in the morning, you get upset after getting up. You know? Because you have fear of losing something, you know, what you lost. That time is sleep. The same thing, this situation comes every time in the practitioner's life. Especially, these three is the example. Because first time, we are afraid of the samsara. But once we are free from the samsara, we are no longer afraid of samsara. But we have a mistaking path, this one, between the Theravada and Mahayana. And then after that one, between Mahayana and Vajrayana, Mahayana says, cut it or purify it. But in Vajrayana says, you don't need to cut it, you don't need to purify it. It is always beautiful from the beginning. You know. So therefore, three different kind of fear you can say it at the beginning. So that is why Khenpo Rinpoche said, the reason why one take the refuge is out of fear. Therefore, you need to figure out what is your fear of the taking refuge. You know? It's very important, because if you know this one, this will encourage you to be a better practitioner. Okay, fear is a quality in this point of view. You know, like that. And then also, what to say? Patrul Rinpoche said, why do you take refuge? He says, it is out of fear again. It's out of fear because from the Patramachi point of view, it is all about the Mahayana practitioner, because we are Tibetan Buddhism practitioners, therefore we are a Bodhisattva kind of practitioners. So, as a Bodhisattva kind of practitioners, when we we have given some kind of task. Our task is that task we say
Task.
our task. Our task is that my task is that I have to help myself and the entire beings. Now question comes, how can I help the entire beings? I am just one single person. I cannot make any difference. This is out of question. This kind of fear comes. But you have a commitment at the same time in your hand. You know, like a Shariputra. Shariputra was a Theravada Arahat. You know, and then he take the vow in front of Buddha and said, I want to become a Mahayana practitioner. And he take the Bodhisattva vow that he said, I want to go and help all the entire being from now on. And then he went to the public place and he said, now I am practicing Mahayana. So anybody who needs my help, I'm there. And then there are some people comes, okay, can you help arranging my house? Can you help me cleaning my house? He does all. And then Brahma, from the sky, he was wondering, and he wanted to test his commitment. And then this Brahma transformed into a very old Brahmin practitioner, and he came to Shariputra and said, oh, I heard you are very much generous and you are practicing Boddhicitta, I heard. So I want to practice this fire offering practice, he says. In the fire offering, in the traditional, they put the human corpse, they burn this one. And he asked, I want to do this practice. Can you give me your right hand? And Shariputra was very happy, yes, I can give you my right hand. He cut it, and then he gave to him. And this Brahmin was so angry and said, you disrespectful person. I am a Brahmin, the highest caste in India. How dare you to give me by your left hand? Get it? And then Shariputra was so shocked. It feels like it's so complicated, people. I cannot do this one. How can I give my right hand by my right hand, because my right hand is already cut down? And then that very moment, he said, I give up. And then this Brahmin, he transformed into again to Brahma, and then with his miracles, put the hand back. But Shariputra was already given up. He said, this is so difficult task that I thought it would be very easy, but it's so difficult. So therefore, as a Mahayana practitioner, Tibetan Buddhism practitioner, you have been given a task to help every being, and we fail most of the time. That's sure, we fail. We even fail even now. We want to have a very good teachings here, but we don't want people who don't want to listen any teaching here. We want to throw them out. That's already, we are breaking our vows, Bodhisattva vows. It's a big task. So like that. So therefore, it says, Jimmilimba says, as a practitioner, one need to take every single moment refuge, because we have a fear, knowing that I can make mistake every single minutes, because my task is to help all the entire beings, and I know I cannot do it. So when you know you cannot do it and you have to do it, fear comes. It's very normal, it's logic. At that very moment, you need to tell to yourself, there is somebody up there. Guru Rinpoche, teachers, masters, lamas, Buddha Dharma Sangha, They are there for you to encourage you. Okay, you can do it. So this will give you a confidence. Now you have again a confident link. Confident is the link. You know? So like that. So this is the second reason why one need to take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, like that. Okay. I think we stop here, no? What's the time? What time we start?
Start 8 o'clock, I think. No. 9:21. What is the time? 9:21. Oh.
Okay, so now, this is one reason why we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Now, second question comes. Another, why we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and how we should take it. Khenpo Tseten said, there may be a sun in the sky. There may be a dry grass on the land. Sun and dry grass. Sun is a powerful fire that can burn anything. Dry grass is the best choice for the sun to burn. Right? But it does not happen. Dry grass is on the ground, sun is up there, and we wait, and there's no fire coming on. Sun has a capacity. Same thing, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or Lama, they have a lot of capacity to give you the blessing, whatever you want. And they are there for 24/7. Then they want to really do something. And we are here also, expecting that they do something to us. Some miracles happened. Some kind of magic happened that suddenly I get a realization, if you talk as a practitioner. But it's not happening. Why? Khenpo Tseten asked this question. And he said, because the sun and the grass does not have a direct connection. Because the teacher is there, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is there, Lama is there, and we are there, but we have no direct connection. So what is things that will make the connection? It says, if you want to have a fire on the grass, what do you need? This magnifying glass, you need it. You put this one like that, then the sun is there, grass is there, and magnifying glass is there. You have boom, fire is there. The same thing, you are here, all the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and all is there. And if you want to have a blessing, at least you need to open up to receive the blessing. Opening up is a devotion, the faith. You need to have a faith in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. You need to have a devotion in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The more devotion you have, the more blessing you get. In the text also it says in the Jimilimpa, if you have a superior kind of devotion, you will get a superior kind of blessing. If you have a middling kind of devotion, you will get a middling kind of blessing. If you have an inferior kind of devotion, then you will get an inferior kind of blessing. And if you have a zero devotion, you get nothing. Jimilimpa said in the text. So therefore, again, as I now come back to the practical level, practitioner level. At the beginning, you just look about what is the purpose for changing mind. After that one, you try to look what is the reason that I should take refuge. Then you look to your first to your conditions, how it makes you difficulties, and then this will make you emotional because we have a fear. So therefore, you will know you have a fear, and then you take refuge. But when you take refuge, then you need to have a blessing. Then you open up to that person. In the psychology, for example. Whenever people come to see me with their problems, I always usually take 3 days, every day 2 hours, talking with the person. Because at the beginning, this person will just tell me what this person want to tell. So he will tell what I want to hear at the beginning, but this is not what I want. I want to hear what it is he is not trying to tell me. That means until he or she does not tell what he or she does not want to tell, this person is not opening up. So when this is not opening up, I cannot give anything to this person. I cannot help this person. So it takes 2-3 days to make this person open. Once he or she open that something that don't want to tell, open up, then I find the solution there. So this is until we are close somewhere inside, and we say I have a lot of devotion to you, but you are close inside, we get nothing. This is what devotion is all about. Okay. So now this devotion, little bit detailed, maybe we will talk tomorrow. Okay. And then after lunch, tomorrow we have a long time. We'll let's see how long, how detailed we can go. Because I'm tomorrow maybe I'll try to base mainly on the three way of practicing refuge, just a normal ordinary way of practicing refuge, and then also in a not like a salon but little bit like a chakra kind of practitioner, and then after that one staying in the one single pointed in a little bit like ultimate level, but I'll try to bring it in a very much normal understanding level. Okay, so tomorrow we will talk on this practice, and then day after tomorrow, simple bodhicitta practice based on Asanga tradition and Nagarjuna tradition. Okay. Voilà.
Achter het blauwe tabblad, achter de blue tab, page number 36. Nam di tam je pa ye tap ne pe dona ben je ye ga na ji ba lo tro pa ye se pe cho le tro va sho pe de la me nam pa ta va la che je jam ya le ta mi che je le pa ton me que yi la me jin la chen la ju pa sho che wa tu yanda lama tang re me je ki pe la lang che ne cha ta lang ki yen te la jo ne do je chang ki go pa nyo do sho. Page number 42. Chancho rinpoche ma ge pa na ge gyo shi ye pa nya pa me pa yang go ne gong do pe wa sho to ni ta wa rinpoche ma ge pa na ge gyo shi ye pa nya pa me pa yang go ne gong do pe wa sho kun chan do je chan che me che ne trin che cha ve la ma yen chen ki Rove tendo menang kantapa Teda tamje daki drupa sho. Page number 49. Kunke nyeshe cheke gesha la leje teja chopa chempelam Ma be lundro ke gunje rabjo Guru yapyun jejo nedroto Regen Jambo Dragna Limpa Yirbe Kona Namka Gyatsola Sowa Depso Kutse Kekyajo Drodro Kowe Nene Drempajo Tuji Tudre Paji Yelo. Page number 76. Kari Rave Kowe Shinkan Sho Pendan Dewa Malu Jungwene Chale Jiwan Den Jing Gyatso Yi Shape Shite Badu Ten Yushi Kari Rave Kowe Shinkan Sho Pendan Dewa Malu Jungwene Chale Jiwan Den Jing Gyatso Yi Shape Shite Badu Ten Yushi Kari Rave Kowe Shinkan Sho Pendan Dewa Mali Jungwene Chandre Jiwan ten juen kya tsuye, shabe shite bado de yu shi, lama kukan sangwa sowa de, shoto kuche ringwa sowa de, tende ta shenke pa sowa de, lama tanre wa me pa jinge labdu so. I pray that the Lama's health be excellent. May the Lama's life be most long. May his enlightened activities flourish and spread. May I never be separate from him and may he always bless me. Ik bid dat de Lama's gezondheid uitstekend zal zijn. Mogen de Lama's leven lang zijn. Mogen zijn verlichte activiteiten bloeien en verspreiden. Mogen ik nooit van hem gescheiden zijn en mogen hij mij altijd zegenen. Completely in front, the very first small page. Nandra kritsum nana chakuna, kutan yeshe rapajan leva, sasan eja champenyan, yerme toke teke roshisho. Kieva kanto yandat lamata, reme cheke pela la chene, satanam ke yenten razot, doje shanki kopanyor topsho. Om Benza Sato Samaya, Manupadaya, Benza Sato Tenapa, Dishadil Mebava, Sudokaya Mebava, Supokaya Mebava, Anuraka Mebava, Sarvasiti Mebayatsa Savakama Sutsame, Tidam Jayam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Savatada Kata Benza Bame Munsa Benziba Samaya Sato.
So, thank you very much. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow.